Prince Harry's total breakdown and break from reality has continued overnight, because not only is he breaking down in tears again during his holiday to Portugal, he has now leaked a private security document to Chris Ship of Woke ITV, which has been broadcast to the world. And the nutty thing about this is he is literally saying, I'm a terrorist target. Come and attack me. Come and attack my children. This is honestly the most insane own goal I have ever seen in royal history. Actually, the only thing that should be staged for Prince Harry is some type of intervention now. And I don't even think this man should be coming to the United Kingdom at all, let alone bringing his difficult wife, and I would argue his very vulnerable children. And let me just be honest, his children ain't vulnerable because of some made-up security threat. His children are vulnerable because of him, because of the way that he is transferring his very deep and imbued trauma into them. And it's sad to watch, but unfortunately, this is our issue, because Harry was warned of the consequences of leaving. He didn't accept the consequences of leaving, and he now wants us to pay to the tune of millions and millions of pounds a year for him to be able to travel around the world with British armed security. So we're going to get into all of these extraordinary developments today with royal YouTube sensation P-Dina. But first, this new report from Vanity Fair's royal editor, Katie Nicholl. Now, she says he's close to tears over the UK visit security situation. Again, I hear it's much worse than that, but what a completely bizarre thing for anyone to brief. Especially, by the way, at a time that we're seeing the royal family at its absolute best. No drama, just hard work, like Catherine, the Princess of Wales, at Wimbledon today. And do you notice she just meets the crowds without any issue whatsoever? Watch this. And Prince William and King Charles at the Order of the Thistle in Edinburgh, where they also privately dined as a royal family. And let's just say there is much to talk about, including this report from Katie Nicholl, briefed by Montecito, revealing that Harry, despite all of this, despite the fact that he thinks there is a genuine terrorist threat on their life, he's still intending to bring his family to the UK next week. The sources close to him say that he is close to tears. And Nicholl reports that while King Charles has offered the family a suite of rooms at a royal residence believed to be Buckingham Palace, where they would be completely secure, the Sussexes who were planning to travel around the country have been told they will not receive full police protection, which might have included a police motorcade for when they are travelling. When Ravik informed the Sussexes this would not be the case, the Duke of Sussex was devastated and close to tears. He had assumed that because he was bringing the kids and the king had made a royal residence available to them, he would get what he has been pushing for all along, full-time police protection. That has not been the case. The king has made it clear that while he wants to see his estranged son and grandchildren, he will not intervene in security matters. Exactly. So what was Harry thinking? Was he so high on the wacky-backy and the psychedelics that he believed something that simply isn't true? The source added to Nicholl, from speaking to people close to him, it's clear he is stressed and very disappointed in Ravik's decision not to give his family the security he believes they need to have to be safe when they are travelling. And there is a fundamental mental health issue going on here, with Rob Shooter revealing that Harry's paranoia is now spiralling, the security fears taking over his
Prince Harry is once again making headlines as fresh reports and commentary reignite debate over his UK security arrangements ahead of a possible visit. Reports discussing security assessments and the Duke of Sussex's ongoing legal dispute have sparked renewed questions about the level of protection he should receive while in Britain. The issue has become one of the most closely watched royal stories.
Obvious, hasn't it? He is consumed by this. One insider telling Naughty But Nice that he sees threats everywhere. Friends say his daily life has become governed by elaborate security rituals. Homes and hotel rooms are swept for listening devices before he settles in. He frequently changes phone numbers, limits who can contact him directly, and insists that his movements remain known to only a tiny circle of trusted aides. Sources also claim Harry has pushed for decoy vehicles during some trips to make it harder to track his whereabouts. Security isn't just a priority anymore, it's an obsession. A second source says every plan starts with the worst case scenario. He assumes someone is watching, someone is listening, or someone knows where he is. It's been described as a hyper state of vigilance, but actually everyone just wants Harry to find peace, those who are close to him. Being careful is understandable, but living as though every day brings a new threat is emotionally exhausting. Friends hope he can eventually let his guard down before fear completely takes over. And this is the problem with everything that Harry is doing. It is just making him look more and more crazy, and the royal family thinking, my goodness, we are going to have to take a very wide berth. Prince William was right. Even the briefing from the New York Post from Harry's team is bizarre, talking about the fact that they want to make the biggest spectacle of private security to try and make some type of point. Now, this is apparently because he pays $3 million for this private security in the US. And one source in the know said the family won't fly by private jet, but they will have their own bodyguards, adding Harry always travels with one or two of his own security team. They know it will make the biggest spectacle. They want photos of them being royal. So let's just be honest about what this is really about. Harry and Meghan intended to use this trip with the spectacle of private security to browbeat the king, to overrule his government, something that would have caused a constitutional crisis, in order for his security to be funded by the British taxpayer forevermore, because quite frankly, his career disasters and Meghan Markle's career disasters mean they cannot afford the $3 million price tag. So that is where we get to the totally bizarre breaking news, where Harry leaks a security report prepared by his own team to woke ITV. And as the Daily Telegraph put it, terrorists could target Harry at Invictus Games, fines report that he pays for. Now, I don't think it's true anyway. I believe that Meghan's real fear is that no one will turn up or she will be booed, and we will get to that shortly. But I just want to show you the sort of hysteria in the mainstream media about this report, with Good Morning Britain on woke ITV breathlessly revealing this morning, just days before Prince Harry is expected to return to the UK, ITV News has seen a confidential security report claiming the Duke faces 6 terrorist threats, 5 of which allegedly originate in Britain. Allegedly is doing a lot of hard lifting there, given this report was prepared by his own private security firm that he pays $3 million a year. But Chris Shipp totally was suckered by this. And unfortunately, this bloke is no longer a reporter. He is a propagandist for the Sussexes, has been for some time. He was granted that interview with Harry in Ukraine. And Chris Shipp just reported this as fact, revealed why Prince Harry's safety risk is much greater in the UK than any other country. More terrorist threats against him or originate in the UK, and how the FBI alerted him of an assassination plot because of his military service in Afghanistan. Well, I'm going to pause there to say it's not his military service in Afghanistan that's the problem. It's the fact that he revealed his Taliban kill count in Spare that's the problem, which is why the royal family knew it was always going to be a disaster, Harry commercialising his life. But Chris Shipp is doing the rounds on woke ITV today, saying all of this with a straight face. While Harry and Meghan demand special treatment and attack the royals, the mainstream media still protects them. On Outspoken, I call it out with no bias. So subscribe right now for the full story every day.
Take us through what you've learned. So, Nina, as you say, Prince Harry is due back next week. What we don't know at this point is he going to come back on his own, or is he going to come back with Meghan and the children, which was his plan, and that's what he wants to do. The reason why he's having to make this decision is because he thought he'd get a change in his security apparatus when he's in the UK, and he's now been told he won't. So what we've seen is a report that was submitted by Prince Harry's security team to the committee here in the UK that decides who gets what when it comes to royal protection.
And what you're seeing are the propagandists, because anyone who is reporting this as anything other than a total fake ruse to bully the British royal family, bully the king, bully the British government is not worth their salt. And totally following up on this was Cameron Walker. Now, I've told you about this guy. He is the GB News royal correspondent, but he's BFFs with Omid Scobie. He's like the new Omid Scobie. Look at his reporting here.
Cameron, it sounds worrying.
Yeah, this report, first reported by ITV and confirmed by GB News this morning, does claim from Prince Harry's security team, but there are 6, as you say, terror threats against Harry and his family, Meghan and the 2 children, most of which are in the UK. A mixture of jihadist terrorist plots and some right-wing extremists as well. It all sounds very scary on the surface, doesn't it? But you have to kind of also, I think, look at the context here. Harry genuinely believes that his life is under threat and therefore he should have some kind of police protection while he is in the UK. As things stand, what he gets is a phone number for a police liaison officer. Now, that's clearly many more digits than 999 if someone was running at him with a knife, for example.
Oh, it's just ludicrous. Like, Harry gets what anyone else who's high profile gets. And if there is a specific threat, he will get protection. There are good people who are calling out this nonsense. Richard Ian, and I'll give him credit for this, replying directly to Chris Ship. If this is the case, wouldn't it have been wise for Harry not to have boasted in his memoirs about how many Afghans he had killed? Or Toure Bakahai on X writing, so dumb, unemployed Prince Harry gets a garbage security report written for him, prepared for the Prince in February, and Chris Ship publicises it. Like Dumbo is an important world leader. What an absolute farce. But I also think, according to Taz, makes a very fair point by talking about the fact that given Harry really does seem to believe this, the fact that he would still put his children in the firing line of what is just an inevitable terror attack shows how twisted he really is. She wrote, okay, hear me out. Let's just say that Harry's latest threat level report, which was pulled together by his own American security team, not suspicious at all, is true. If Harry truly feels that there is such a serious threat against his life in the UK, whereby an attack is highly likely, why on this God's green earth would he be bringing his children into that situation? If it was my loved ones, I wouldn't care if there was a team of 50 MI5 and MI6 agents continually surrounding my family. I wouldn't care. If they had the Army, Navy and Air Force escorting us places, a threat is a threat. I would not risk anything happening to those I love. There is no guarantee that the security team will be able to save your life in an attack. So he either believes that he is in terrible danger or he doesn't. If he does honestly believe it, then why would you risk the safety of your children? He either had no intentions of bringing Archie and Lily and has just used them to pressure Ravik and to emotionally blackmail his father by lying that they were coming, or he was genuinely bringing them but knows deep down that there is no major threat and he's still using the children to get what he wants. And of course, this is what it's all about. Harry getting what he wants at any cost. I personally don't believe that he does think there is a genuine threat to his life, but he knows that he has a very small window before Prince William takes the throne. Obviously, we hope that's going to be a long time in the future and that King Charles is fine, but he knows he has this small window because once he gets granted the security, I know how this works, okay? I know how this works with former prime ministers. I've spoken to them about it. You pretty much get it for life. Once you have it, it's very difficult to take it away. And there is a lot of suspicion from those in the know on this. Royally Sage posting, Harry wants people to believe his private security knows more than Ravik. He is a dunce, but the Royal Grift replied, I feel this loser is so desperate for this IPP status back that a false flag attack is looming. I can see these two harming others around them to prove to the Home Office he is a target. Sounds like Harry is foreshadowing it. And P-Dina, look, the problem here is that Harry has been using whatever it takes. So the fact that earlier in the year, this member of the Sussex squad who had followed people around and been pictured with Chris Shipp and loads of them in Africa, all of a sudden was a genuine threat to his life. And all he's actually doing, I believe, is encouraging an attack on him. If there is now any type of violence against Prince Harry, guess whose fault it will be, P-Dina? His. Because he has announced his security levels to the world. And what makes me particularly mad, and what William and Catherine will be furious about, he's actually putting other members of the royal family at risk too, P-Dina. He's making them all vulnerable. But whatever you think about his motives, it feels undeniable that Prince Harry is now in the midst of a monumental breakdown just days before he returns to the UK. But first, we've partnered with Gundry MD to share this information with you. Would you believe me if I told you inside your pantry right now is one of the healthiest foods on the planet? Yep, it's true. And it's not some weird trendy superfood. Spoiler alert, it's olive oil. You're probably used to cooking with it.